Hey guys, well, it's time for bronzers. I have so many bronzers, it's ridiculous. And when I went to pull bronzers, I was pulling face palettes and cream bronzers and powder bronzers. Yeah, it was just a lot. But here we are. So I have 3 different categories. You guys are gonna kill me, I know, but they're all bronzers. It's just different categories. So first of all, I want to talk to you about my palettes, my like face palettes with bronzers, and then we'll move on to creams, and then we'll move to powders. I hope that's okay with you guys. I thought it might be a little bit easier because I didn't know what else to do. So here we are. So first of all, let's talk about palettes, shall we? Okay, so I really can't rank this any higher because I just got it and I've not used it but once. So this is the Ulta 3-in-1 cheek palette in this, it's just called Santorini Sun. And this thing is heavy actually. And so here's the bronzer in here. Really beautiful. I don't know if I can even get a good swatch for you. It's a very shimmery bronzer. I'm not going to swatch everything. This is mostly bronzer focused. So I love this. I think it's great. It's a baked formula, which is really, really nice. It's very beautiful on the skin. It looks really just flawless, airbrush, all that great stuff. I've not had it long enough to rank it higher. So it's not that this is a bad formula and why it's the lowest. It's just that I've not had it long enough to rank it any higher. So that's why I put it at the bottom. Next, I have this. This is the e.l.f. and Jen Atkin. I think this was the medium to dark, medium to deep palette. And the bronzer in here is just too yellow for me. Whoop. On the skin, it looks a little bit better than it does in the pan. Like, it looks so yellow in the pan. But on the skin, it looks a little bit better. And I guess just looking at it in here, it doesn't look as appealing to me. So that's why I don't reach for it as often. But I do like it. It's still in my collection because it's a great formula. It's very pigmented and it's a very, very cute bronzer. I like it a lot. So I definitely think that it's definitely worth. I don't even think you can get it anymore, but I like it. It's worth having, and I have it in my collection. Next, I have this from Pharmacy Makeup. I got this from a friend of mine, and I really like it. This is the Peach Bite palette. It looks like this right here. The bronzer in it is more of like a contour shade. It's a contour palette, so it's a little bit deeper of a shade there, and it's very, very beautiful on the skin. I love this palette. I reach for it quite often. It's just really, really gorgeous, and I like it. So I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just I have others I reach for a little bit more. Next, I have the Sweet Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette. This looks like this here. And the bronzer in it is shimmery. So if you don't like a shimmery bronzer, stay away from this. But it's very beautiful. But it's one that if you have texture or anything, it's definitely going to accentuate it. If you are a deeper skin tone, this would be a beautiful highlight for you. But yes, it's definitely a deeper bronzer. Or it's definitely a shimmery bronzer. So if you don't like a shimmer, stay away from this one. Next is my Becca. This is the Pop Goes the Glow Face and Eye Palette. This is technically not a bronzer. I think this is more for the eyes, but I use this as a bronzer. And it's the shade Caramel. Again, this is a shimmer. So if you don't like a shimmer, stay away from it. And this looks more like an eye color, but I do use it as a bronzer. That's why I pull it out, just to show you guys. And I like it. I think it's pretty. If I'm looking for a very shimmery look, I'm definitely going to go for this. But it's not one I pull for all that often, so that's why it's a little bit lower on the list. Next, I have my Judo & Co. Cheek Defining Kit in Margarita. Looks like this. And the bronzer in here is very beautiful. So it's a little bit of a lighter bronzer for sure. There is a little bit of sheen to it, but it's not as shimmery as this one here for sure. So there's some sheen, but definitely not as shimmery. It's very beautiful. I love this palette, and I don't reach for it as much as I should, but I still really like it. So it's very beautiful. This blue can be intimidating, but I said I wasn't going to swatch it, but it's really beautiful. It truly is. Like when you actually put it on. So I could use that on my eyes and it'd be really pretty. Next I have the Glam Light. I think this is like the S'mores palette. The chocolate shade in here looks really deep, and so when I first got it I was like, I don't think I can use that. But actually if I go in with a light hand, I'm going to blend it lightly, I can actually make it work. So it's really pretty. This is it here, and I think it is a gorgeous palette, and it's one that you can deepen up if you need to. So like if I wanted to make it darker, I would just go in a little heavier handed, and you can see it would deepen up. So it's a very beautiful palette. I like this. I like the formula of it. I don't reach for it as much as I should, but it's still gorgeous, and I love this palette. I heard everybody talk about the Hula Bronzer forever, and so I finally bought this Cheek Leaders palette, and this has a bunch of different things in there, but it has the regular Hula Bronzer in there, and I got it. It's very beautiful. It's a little deep for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I might could do actually the light, but if I go with the light hand, I can make it work. But it's still doable for sure. It could even be a really good contour shade, and I think it's gorgeous, and there's definitely a reason that it is so popular. I have this Ofra Good To Go palette, and I love Ofra's formula and everything. I truly do. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and just stunning and breathtaking and all those good things. This is the shade Current in the bronzer, and it's a very beautiful shade. It looks a little bit deep, but that's the good thing about Ofra's bronzers is like in the pan they look a little deep, but then you can just use a light hand and they don't look as deep on the skin. So this is definitely one that I can use. I just have to take a lighter hand, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I love this palette, love that I have it in my collection, and I love the formula. I also have this Life's a Draft palette from Ofra, and I have this K-E-E, and it has a little bit of shimmer in it. Show you what it looks like. This one's a little bit lighter, and I did have to build that swatch up just a little bit, this one here. So it's definitely a little bit lighter, and it works a little bit better for me, and it has just a tiny bit of sheen to it, not really like a shimmer or glitter or anything, but it does have a little bit of a sheen. It's beautiful. Love the Ofra formula again. I think it's gorgeous, and it blends beautifully on the skin. This I've had forever. This is the Physicians Formula and Casey Holmes collab, and this was the Butter Bronzer in here, and this is the deep bronzer shade. So have it. And you can see what it looks like, this one here. It is a bit deeper, but it's a good contour shade, and it's really beautiful. It smells delicious, and I love Physicians Formula. I think they're amazing, and there is nothing wrong with this bronzer. I love it. It's so good. I have another Physicians Formula palette. This is the All-Star palette, and there's actually two bronzers in here. There is the Butter Bronzer. I think this is just the bronzer shade in here, so let me swatch this one for you. It's definitely lighter for sure. So here is the lighter shade. This is the deep, this is the lightest one. And we also have the matte bronzer in here that they just came out with. And it's definitely deeper, this one here. And for sure it's different than the even deep shade. So I really like both of these. I will use them at different times for different things, depending on if I have a sunless tan or not, or whatever is going on. So definitely like this palette and reach for it quite a bit. Now these are my top 3 face palettes. So this is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Sculpture Edit, and this is the Bronzer and Natural Bronze Light. So let me swatch it for you. So here it is the lightest one, but I love this. It's so beautiful. It blends beautifully on the skin. It's a baked formula, and it's so good, so good. Then I have my Jaclyn, my Jaclyn blush and bronze duo. This one is Lilac Love in top tan. Here is the top tan shade. It's a more light, like it almost blends into my skin. You're not gonna be able to see this on me. It's right here, I promise it's there. It's just very light. So when I am in the winter, this is probably gonna be a good shade for me. This would be good for very fair skin tones. I like the formula of these. These are why they're my number ones. And then my very number one for a palette, at least, is this one from Jaclyn. It's the Warm Flush and Golden Goddess. The Golden Goddess shade is so beautiful. It's like my perfect shade. And it's a baked formula too. There's just enough in there that makes it golden, but yet still cool enough. Like it's a neutral shade. I love it. I reach for this time and time again, and it's just so beautiful. So these are definitely my top 3. So I'm not trying to rush through these, but I'm trying not to talk forever. So I'm sorry if I am kind of going quickly, but I don't want to take too much of your time with this video because I do have quite a bit of powder bronzers as well. So just singles, that is. So I'm trying to get to those as well as my creams. So let's move into creams. These are still in my collection for a reason. It's not that I don't like them, but this is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I have the shade Tan Lines and Honey Drip. So this one is Tan Lines and this one is Honey Drip. Honey Drip may be just a tiny bit deeper. They're not bad. They're just a little bit too much, almost too emollient for me. Like they... When I didn't know a lot about cream products, I would have told you these were amazing. But now that I've gotten into more cream products and I know a little bit more about them, these are not my favorites because I find that these do pick up just a little bit of my product underneath and they don't blend as easily and seamlessly as some of my others. So I know that these aren't the best out there, and so that's why they're just at the bottom. Not that they're horrible, but they're just at the bottom. So not bad. I blended them out a little bit so you could see, but I just prefer others. This is a palette, but it's also cream, so I just put it in my cream category. This is the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I don't know if they have different shades on these, but this just says Cream Contour Palette, and I do like this. I use it quite a bit, actually. This is my favorite shade here. It's definitely more of a contour shade, so that's this one here. And then there's this first one on the bottom that I like. Has a little bit more warmth in it right here. And that's this one here. And then this deepest one, I don't reach for as often. But I will swatch it. So here's the deepest, the warm one on the bottom, and then this is the top one that I use the most. I love this. I think it's gorgeous. This I don't use all that much. I think I might have swatched it once, and it's just a creamy vanilla shade. But this is a very beautiful palette. I love it. You can kind of custom mix. If you wanted to lighten it up a little bit, you could, you know, mix into these. Next, I have this Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer. This is in the shade Toffee. It's a beautiful shade. I love this. It's perfect for me. I have it on today, actually. Not thinking about filming, and I put it on today. But I love that it's in a stick form so that I can just roll it, not this far, but that's how much product's in there. So I can just roll it up and put it on and not have to worry about, you know, getting a brush and dipping it out and all that good stuff. So I love this. Ease of use, definitely, and it's very beautiful. Then my Fenty cream bronzer. I love this. This is a shade Butter Biscuit. This is very beautiful. When I first got it, I was like, I don't know about this. But now that I know how to use it properly, I like it so much more. And you can see it's definitely a contour shade. Very beautiful, perfect for me. I love this. It's so good. One of the best that I have. I'm reaching. This is number 4. I have 3 above this, but this is very beautiful and I love it. And this shade is so perfect. The number 3 is my Tower 28 Bronzino, and it's in the shade West Coast. So I've used it quite a bit. It's very loved. This one, see how It looks a little bit different when I rub my finger in there. This one has a little bit of shimmer to it. So it's unique in that it's my only cream that has some shimmer. So I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but I promise it's there. Very beautiful. And like I said, it's the shade West Coast. I love this. It's so, so pretty. I love the formula on the Tower 28. They're so amazing. Just so, so good in so many ways. So definitely recommend. And I love the neutral. Like you look at it and you think it's going to be pretty warm, but it's actually very neutral if you look at it blended. Number 2 is my Soul Body. This is my face and body bronzing balm, and this is the shade Light. So here's what it looks like. It's a very big, huge bronzer for sure. This is huge. This is what it looks like. I love the shade. It's a perfect shade. I reach for this over and over again. This was my number 1 until I got this next one, and I love this. It blends so perfectly. It's a great neutral shade. Just love it. Love it. And my number 1, without a doubt, is my Jaclyn cream bronzer. This is the shade Beachy. I have it swatched right here. My number 1 fave. The feel of this is so unique compared to everything else. It's a cream to powder formula, and I love it. It blends perfectly. It's so beautiful, and it's just gorgeous. So, so gorgeous. So pretty. Ooh. Jesus. Jesus. You're going to meet your maker. I had to kill a big spider. So those are all my creams. I love them. I love to put them underneath my powders for sure. Let's move into powders, and I promise I'll do this as quickly as I can. Honestly, I don't know why I hold on to this one, because I don't ever use it. But this is, I think just the color of it makes me want to hold on to it. But this is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. So here's what it looks like on the outside. There's what, it's just a little one. This was like a sample I got. The shade on it is really pretty, and it makes me think I can wear it. I can pull it off, but I don't know if I can or not. It might be just a little bit light for me. I don't know, but it's pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't reach for it, so I don't know why I keep it in my collection. I don't know. It's very neutral, so that makes it good. But I don't reach for it, so that's why it's the last one. Next, we have the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Glow. The only reason I don't reach for this one is the shade. I'm just not crazy. It looks a little bit orange. I'm not gonna lie. This one's baked, of course. You're gonna have a little bit of shimmer to it. And it's just a bit orange. I don't know if the camera even does it justice, but it's orange. It's orange. It's orange. I don't know if you can tell. It's just orange. It's orange, and I don't like that. I don't like it. So yeah, this is not my right shade. The formula's good. I just don't like the shade. Next is my Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is in the shade 22 Sun Bronze, and it's a beautiful color. I have a lot of light bronzers, but this is it here. It's very beautiful. This one is a matte one. Shimmer in this one. It's really beautiful, and I love this one. Next is another Ofra bronzer. This is one I got in my, I think it was an Ipsy Glam bag a long, long time ago. She's well loved. I love this bronzer. This is the Americano Bronzer from Ofra. It has a little bit of sheen to it as well. It's beautiful. This one here, it's very beautiful. It's just that I don't reach for it as often as I used to. Next is my Maybelline City Bronzer. This is the shade 200. I love this shade. It's a very neutral bronzer as well. Still very light, so be aware of that when you purchase. It looks a little bit deeper in the pan than it actually comes off, so It's beautiful. It's just a little light. Nothing wrong with this one. It's matte. It's gorgeous. I love it. I just have others I like better. Then I have my Kylie bronzer. This is the old formulation. This is not the new, but I love this shade. It's the khaki shade. So it's pretty light, but it's still beautiful, and I can make it work. Especially over top of, you can barely see it, but I just used this in a video not long ago. You can see it if I put it over a cream for sure. The cream will grab onto it and make it look better. So it's definitely a light for sure, but it's very beautiful. This is a newer one, but one I love. I'm actually wearing this over top of my cream bronzer today. This is the L'Oreal Bronze Please. It's in the shade La Terra. It's gorgeous. I love this. It's so pretty. If you've not seen the video on this look, this totally saved my look today, I think. So, but it's so pretty. I love this shade. It's right here. So pretty, so pretty. I love it. It actually looks better on my skin than I feel like it does on my hand here, but I promise it's beautiful. I wanted this for so long, and I finally got it at Marshall's. I think I was in TJ Maxx last time I talked about it, but this is the Marc Jacobs Tantric Bronzer, and it's very beautiful. Here it is swatched, very beautiful. It's a very good contour shade. It's so pretty. I love it and use it quite often. Next we have the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, I think is what this one is, and it's the shade Forever Sun-Kissed. I had this and gave it away and liked it so well I had to go get it again. So here it is swatched. I promise it looks better on my skin than it does on my hand. It's very beautiful. I love this so much. Next I have the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I love this. This is the shade Sun-Kissed in 02. Here it is swatched. Beautiful contour shade. Love this. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Park Ave Princess. I just had a little like sample, I guess is what it was. But I love this. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, but I still love it. It's so pretty. Here it is swatched. I love this. I wear it all the time. Love it. Another fave, my Revlon Skin Lights. I love this. I wear it all the time too. The formula on this is amazing. I have the shade 110 Sunlit Glow on this one. When I first got this, it was a little bit light, but I still make it work, and it does have a little bit of shimmer or sheen, and it's not even like, it's not glittery. It's just, it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so I definitely can make it work. Number 3 is my Kimchi Chic Thaler Bronzer, and I Went to Malibu. This is the lightest shade he makes. So pretty. There it is swatched right here. So pretty. I love this bronzer. Number 3, I think I said that, but I'm just going to say it one more time. Number 2 is my Juvia's Place Bronzed Light Palette. So you get 2 in here, but most of the time I'll either use just this one for bronzer or this one for contour, or I'll even mix them. So I'll swatch both of them for you. I hope my husband didn't fall upstairs. I'll swatch both of these for you. So here is the deeper and here's the lighter. So pretty. I love this so much. And my number 1 favorite is my Fenty Beauty. This is Shady Biz. I love this. So pretty. Just so good. I reach for this so much. There was an imprint in it for Fenty, and I wore it out so quickly when I first got it. But it's so pretty. It's a perfect shade for me. I wear it all the time, reach for it all the time. I love it so much. It's a gorgeous shade, and yeah, it's just my favorite. So I know I had a few categories, and I'm sorry for that, but those are all my bronzers. I did go through my collection, made sure I pulled them all, so those are all of my bronzers, and I hope you enjoyed. I definitely recommend Fenty. I recommend them all. You can't really go wrong, But if you're not looking for a shimmer, then definitely, you know, steer clear of some that I mentioned. But definitely, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys are still enjoying these ranking videos. Next, we will have blush. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.